Good morning. I am Mobile Kaisa with the morning edition of MBC News. Our top stories.
President Chakwera urges graduates from the Malawi University of Science and Technology to venture into entrepreneurship and develop the country. Indian President advises Malawians to utilize the Indian business community in developing its food industry. And Public Affairs Committee commends government for restoring donor confidence, which has been lacking for the past 13 years.
And now the news in detail. President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera has advised graduates from the Malawi University of Science and Technology MUST to be innovative and create wealth through entrepreneurship. Dr. Chakwera also encouraged the graduates to utilize and explore opportunities to excel in their careers. President Chakwera was speaking in Cholo when he presided over the 5th congregation of MUST. Austin Kajipeya reports.
President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera, as the Chancellor of Malawi University of Science and Technology, MUST, before performing the task of awarding certificates to the 5th cohort of 610 graduates, the Malawi leader was taken to MUST Teaching Hospital, where he appreciated efforts by the institution to mold biomedical professionals. The president also toured pavilions, showcasing the skills that the graduates of this university have acquired over the 10 years of the institution's existence. Before he unveiled a plaque commemorating the institution's 10th anniversary. In his address, President Chakwera encouraged students to explore several opportunities by thinking outside the box and turn things around. He said they must also develop skill of consciousness, which is crucial in advancing their career and the development of this country to achieve Malawi 2063.
Today I want to bring to your attention the skill of conscientiousness, a skill that you must develop, a skill that will determine how far you will go in life in general and in your career in particular. To be conscientious means to pay meticulous attention to detail in both your actions and surroundings. Important developments are happening all the time that affect your life, but you have to pay attention to know about those developments and see how they will affect you.
In her remarks, Vice-Chancellor of MUST, Professor Andres Malata, said her institution is doing all it can to focus on research, fostering entrepreneurship and innovations to ensure that graduates are prepared to help the country fully to attain its development aspirations.
Allow me to focus on how MUST is poised to inspire a new era of lasting impact. MUST continues to play a critical role in national development, aligned with Malawi 2063, the Malawi Implementation Plan MIP1, and regional global frameworks such as SADC Industrialization Strategy, the AU Agenda 2063.
Opened in 2014, the Malawi University of Science and Technology, MUST, has graduated over 1,600 students who are supporting Malawi's socio-economic growth in various aspects of development. Austin Kachipeya, MBC News, MUST, Cholo.
President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera has emphasized the importance of unity among Malawians, regardless of their political affiliations, for this country to develop. He made the call outside the campus of Malawi University of Science and Technology, MUST, where he addressed people who gathered after the 5th congregation. Blessings Cheleuka with the details.
Addressing a crowd of people that gathered outside MUST in Cholo, President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera urged Malawians to put aside their differences and work together to develop this country. Dr. Chakwera said the government is currently addressing challenges the country is facing, but said there is need for a common approach by all stakeholders to win as a nation. The Malawi leader emphasized that Malawi belongs to everyone regardless of political affiliation. He reiterated his commitment to upholding democratic values and promoting national unity as he initiates various development projects across the country. Speaking earlier, one of the senior officials of the MCP in Cholo, Bab Kamisa, hailed President Chakwera for initiating development projects across the country. He called on the Malawi leader to assist with relief food to people affected by hunger in the district. Blessings Chileuka, MBC, Cholo.
Meanwhile, President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera is in Lilongwe after carrying out a number of official duties in the southern region. Dr. Chakwera left through Chileka International Airport. Minister of Information, who is also government spokesperson, highlights the importance of the engagements.
He did preside over a number of official engagements. The first one was the golf tournament that he participated in at the Limbi Country Club. And then we've also seen him launching this season of the Affordable Inputs program. Yesterday, the president had a day with the NGOs in the country at Sanjika Palace, and today the president was at MAST, where he presided over the graduation at MAST. We appreciate really the presence of the president, as it has strengthened the confidence that people have in him. One, people have been praying for his well-being and good health. They have had the opportunity to see him and appreciate the time with him, but also continuously praying for his well-being and good health. The participation at the golf tournament is something that people are now more interested in after seeing what has been happening in the past. When last year the same thing was done, we've seen schools now being built with proceeds from that tournament. So more people are now interested to participate in that tournament. So we thank the president for participating in that. This year's AIP program that was launched in Neno is targeting all the programs that are now on the table for this farming season, cumulatively are catering for about 2.5 million households. 1.1 million will go towards the AIP, and the other 1.4 will go towards will be catered for using different programs. Today, 610 graduates graduated from Malawi University of Science and Technology. This is also in line with the president's agenda of ensuring that we have a well-educated nation, and this also gives him a picture of how many people are actually flooding the job market now, where he has an agenda of creating jobs, and he knows what skill sets are required and what skill sets are now being obtained from Malawi's learning institutions. Thereby, when he's creating space for those jobs, he has a picture of what is being produced from the education sector.
President of the Republic of India, Shrimati Draupadi Murmu, is in the country for a 3-day state visit. The Indian president was welcomed at Kamuzu International Airport by Vice President Dr. Michael Usi and several government officials. Isaac Jali has a report.
While in the country, President of India, Shrimati Draupadi Murmu, will hold bilateral talks with President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera. The talks are aimed at strengthening Malawi-India relations, and in celebrating 60 years of diplomatic relations between Malawi and India, President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera is expected to host the visiting Indian president to a dinner to be held at Kamuzu Palace in Lilongwe. The government of India has been one of Malawi's reliable development partners, supporting Malawi in various ways, including health, capacity building, and recently it extended humanitarian assistance to the government and people of the Republic of Malawi through a consignment of 1,000 metric tons of rice to address the food deficit, which has occurred due to severe drought caused by the El Nino phenomenon. Shipment of the rice was dispatched from the Nyavasheva port of India for Malawi. The Indian government says the assistance embodies India's unwavering commitment to providing assistance to all friendly countries such as Malawi in their times of need, and further cement a long-standing and close relationship with Malawi. Isaac Jali, MBC, Lilongwe.
Meanwhile, the Indian president has described trade as key in strengthening Malawi-India relations. President Murmu made this statement while leading a 35-member Indian business delegation to the India-Malawi Business Roundtable in Lilongwe. She has since urged the Malawian business community to take advantage of India's large population to develop its food industry. Our reporter Trust Officer reports.
The India-Malawi Business Roundtable attracted cabinet ministers as well as members of the Malawi Confederation of Chambers of Commerce and Industry, MCCCI, who engaged the visiting Indian business delegation. Indian President Draupadi Murmu has challenged local business leaders to take advantage of the opportunities that India offers.
There is an immense scope for enhancing our cooperation in the field of agriculture, mining, energy, tourism, etc., which you mentioned earlier. I congratulate all of you for recognizing this potential and putting your minds together to convene this meeting, and I wish you all success to today's deliberation. I am confident that today's interaction will prove to be a significant milestone in developing commercial relations between the two countries.
Malawi's Minister of Trade, Sosten Gwengwe, has called on Indian investors to take advantage of Malawi's fertile land by investing in the country and boosting productivity through the Mega Farms initiative as well as other sectors.
We would want to push more foreign direct investment, more setting up of factories to help the agenda of the President of value addition and industrializing this nation according to the Malawi 2063. Because it is factories that create jobs. It is factories that build a solid foundation for any economy. If we want to do import substitution, it's FDI. If we want to increase our exports and narrow our trade deficit, it's factories.
In 2023, Malawi imported goods worth $220 million from India, whilst India imported goods worth $45 million from Malawi, primarily consisting of agricultural products such as pigeon peas. Trust Office, MBC News, Lilongwe.
You are watching the morning edition of MBC News with me, Upile Kaisa. A reminder of our top stories.
President Chakwera urges graduates from the Malawi University of Science and Technology to venture into entrepreneurship and develop the country. Indian President advises Malawians to utilize the Indian business community in developing its food industry. And Public Affairs Committee commends government for restoring donor confidence, which has been lacking for the past 13 years.
Welcome back. Public Affairs Committee PAC has commended government for restoring donor confidence, which has been lacking for the past 13 years. Public Affairs Committee Publicity Secretary Bishop Guilford Matonga told MBC that the gesture signifies the confidence that donors have in the current administration. Mayasoji Kadzola has the details in this report.
News of the budgetary support resumption to Malawi continues to excite more Malawians of different backgrounds. Communications Officer for the Public Affairs Committee PAC, Bishop Guilford Matonga, said this is a great achievement for Malawi, as it clearly shows that government has put in place good fiscal policies aimed at changing the lives of Malawians. Matonga said for donors to pump in huge sums of money, it simply indicates things are on the right track, saying as PAC, their mandate is to tell government when things are not good, and when everything is going on well, they need to say something as well. He then calls for a collective approach in maintaining the good fiscal policies.
This is great news to the country of Malawi, the people of Malawi, because these resources will be going to help in the development of this country. So any help that comes in the budgetary support form will actually support the government agenda in its implementation of its programs. So this is welcome news indeed. It also shows that the people that are using these funds have confidence in the system of the government at the moment, that these funds will not be stolen, that these funds would be administered accordingly, and that is also our appeal at the same time.
Echoing Paki's sentiments, Chairperson for the Public Appointment Committee of Parliament, Joyce Chitsulo, who is also Democratic Progressive Party parliamentarian for Mwanza West and also chair for chairpersons in the August House, says it is high time people put politics aside and commend government strides in gaining donor confidence. She then called for a multi-sectoral approach in maintaining financial prudence so that the budgetary support is sustained for the betterment of the nation. Chitsulo said to every meaningful Malawian, this is a great news to hear and no need to give it a blind eye, regardless of the political parties they are aligned to.
This is a sign that donors have now confidence in us as Malawians, as government, and therefore they have felt that there is need to resume the budgetary support which they had stopped like maybe 12 years ago. So for me, as chair of the chairs in Parliament, I think it's very good news. And I really thank the donors for coming in to support us. You know, we have been having a lot of, deficit in our budget, and even if we plan, we allocate resources, but the availability of the resources made it very difficult for some of the planned activities to be implemented. So for me, I feel it is really good. My only request would be that we maintain financial prudence. I say Sirima Jandari because we need to put development first, and let's put our political differences aside, because this is for Malawi. This is not for a political party. This is not for MCP government. It's for Malawi government. It's for Malawians. And for someone to feel that to give it a blind eye, it will be very unfortunate.
Meanwhile, Secretary for Education Mangani Katundu said the resumption of the direct budgetary support is a great milestone as the education sector has been failing to implement some of its projects due to budget deficit. The Education Ministry is expected to get a huge chunk of the budgetary support announced by the EU Ambassador to Malawi, Lune Skinner-Bash. The money will go towards the improvement of secondary education in the country.
This is very exciting. This is very exciting because this is not a project, this is direct budgetary support. What this means is that we are able to program based on our needs the kind of interventions, the kind of improvements that we want to make to the education sector. Of course, the areas of focus, improvement in governance, having an appropriate teacher management system and other things. However, what this is an exciting support to education. We want to improve secondary education. We want to improve the management of secondary education so that the quality assurance that we need to have is going to be implemented even better with the support that we have.
The donors have resumed direct budgetary support to Malawi after a break of at least 13 years due to financial mismanagement. Mayesoji Kadzula, MBC News, Lilongwe.
In a related development, analysts have commended government for securing donor confidence towards direct budgetary support from European Union and the African Development Bank. Speaking to MBC, Benedicto Kondowe, who is the Executive Director for Nation Advocacy Platform, says it is time for people in the country to support the country's leadership for development.
The resumption of the budget support will go a long way in relieving the economic pressure that government faces from time to time. It might also signal confidence in government financial systems, appreciating the fact that at the time that donors suspended budget support, it was on the premise of the Cashgate scandal.
And human rights activist Undule Mwakasongola says the EU direct budgetary support to Malawi is a clear testimony that government is making great strides in restoring donor confidence, thereby supporting the country's development agenda.
The resumption of budget support from the European Union after a decade-long stop serves as an important endorsement of the current government's leadership and President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera. And this allocation of 55 million demonstrates the EU recognitions of Malawi governance reforms and financial accountability, with a strong commitment to rebuilding trust and credibility with international partners. But while this budgetary support is an important chapter, but it must come with the responsibility of ensuring that these funds are managed with transparency and efficiency, because maintaining this level of accountability is very key in securing ongoing donor confidence and support in the future. And the budgetary support actually goes beyond financial assistance. It also represents an opportunity for Malawi to enhance its diplomatic relationships and also build its global reputation, and the government dedication to reforms that promotes good governance and public sector efficiency.
The Lilongwe High Court will this morning continue hearing a case involving Lester Maganga, who is accused of killing former Coca-Cola employee Alan Witika on 20 September 2023. Among others, state witness Sergeant Clement Dinielo from Lingard's police station told the court that the suspect facilitated the death of Alan Witika and changed his phone upon arrival in the country to destroy information and issued threats that he would kill Witika. However, defense lawyer Gonjetso Dikia believes the police and other state witnesses have failed to connect the suspect to the death of Witika. Gonjetso Dikia explains.
Basically, what we were trying to do as the defense was trying to understand the reasons why the state, why the police had come to the conclusion that it was Mr. Maganga that did it. So, what we heard, what the detective said is that he actually admitted that Mr. Maganga was not in the country. So the state is not even disputing the fact that Mr. Maganga was actually outside the country. They have agreed to that, and then it seems that their only bone of contention is that they are saying that they think the accused had something to do with the death of Mr. Witika. Now, when he was asked about the basis or the reasons why he would come to that conclusion, he said that he gave three main reasons. He says that there was the PW3, who he alleges he alleges that PW3 said that the accused had made comments to her that he was going to kill Mr. Witika. But when he was asked about what investigations he did, what further investigations he did to ascertain the truth of those allegations, there was nothing. When the second reason which the detective gave for their belief that Mr. Maganga could have done it or could have sent other people to do it is that they say that he changed his phones. They said that he changed his phones when he was coming back from America. But then in cross-examination, you may have noticed that it was shown that it was only one phone that Mr. Maganga had changed. And that is really because he had bought another phone. And when he was pressed on him to say, is there anything wrong with the person changing phones, especially when you're coming from outside the country, he said there is no reason. But he still concluded that he found the change in phone suspicious. Nothing further to it.
And State Advocate Pilirani Masanjala said he would be in a better position to comment after the state concludes re-examination. Justice Mzonde Mvula adjourned the case to today for the state to re-examine Sergeant Clement Dinielo. And moving on to business, the Reserve Bank of Malawi plans to experiment on the use of the central bank digital currency as it advances its ambition for a paperless cash society. Confirming the development to MBC, the central bank governor Wilson Banda said the bank wants to move with the global advancements. Our business reporter Eileen Chimoyo has more.
A central bank digital currency, CBDC, is a form of digital currency issued by a country's central bank. Although it is similar to cryptocurrencies, its value is fixed by the central bank and is equivalent to the country's fiat currency, which is used to value minerals such as gold and silver. Over 5 years back, the central bank embarked on studies on possible implementation of digital currency, particularly the cryptocurrency, as it became a global trend which had also crept into Malawi.
But they're all doing some experimentation. It's something that has not really been fully adopted. We need to understand the risks. We need to understand the level of adoption, because the digital currencies will also depend on how advanced the country is in terms of communication, the digital platforms, how well developed they are. So as we adopt digital currencies, we have to make sure that all the risks that come with the adoption of those currencies is actually properly mitigated. We don't want people to be exposed and lose money in the process. In digital currencies, what it means is that you are no longer using money, paper money or coins. The country saves on the costs that come with the importation of currency. We're spending a lot of money to import currency, but with the digital currencies, nothing.
On the retail front, CBDCs are crucial in facilitating effective and efficient means of online purchase payments. In Africa, Nigeria is the only country that has fully embraced CBDC, with other countries such as the United Kingdom, Brazil and China still exploring the digital currency. Last week, the central bank issued a tender for consultancy to facilitate the trial. Elin Chimoyo, MBC News, Blantyre.
And in sports, Football Association of Malawi, FAM, has officially unveiled Thabo Senong as the Luenga Inclusive Academy talent coach for a 2-year pilot phase. The association is implementing the FIFA Support Talent Identification and Nurturing Project at Luenga Technical Center in Mzuzu. Making the announcement in Lilongwe, FAM President Fleetwood Haiya said the unveiling of the coach marks a milestone in football, transforming agenda through grassroots football development.
For FIFA to always come, visit, monitor the talents in terms of benchmarking and in terms of progress. If all is in order, that is what is important, you know. But the biggest support must also come from the ground. And when we're talking about the ground, we are talking about our fellow youth coaches, because we are working at youth level, so we need our fellow youth coaches to support us with talent recommendation, with talent scouting, with competitions, because we have to play with other youth programs. We have to create a culture of playing competition in different towns, be it from Zuzu across Lilongwe, probably across even go as far as Blantyre, because without competition, it's very difficult to measure the talent if it's on the right track.
It is a dream come true. This is what we did mention in our strategy. We thank FIFA today that also when we did ask FIFA to support us with our dream of nourishing the talent of the youngsters, of the youth, they have answered our prayer, they've answered our petition. Today, indeed, is very significant because we do believe that with the Luenga Inclusive Academy coach, whom FIFA has provided to us, is going to help us to nourish the talent, to give a platform to the boy child, to the girl child, that is going to be at the Luenga Technical Center, and not only at Luenga Technical Center, but also other academies that are not maybe directly controlled by Football Association of Malawi. We are going to give the platform to these kids.
Well, that's how we conclude this edition of MBC News. A reminder of our top stories before we leave.
President Chakwera urges graduates from the Malawi University of Science and Technology to venture into entrepreneurship and develop the country. Indian President advises Malawians to utilize the Indian business community in developing its food industry. And Public Affairs Committee commends government for restoring donor confidence, which has been lacking for the past 13 years.
You can access all MBC digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen, or get the latest news by subscribing to SMS services by dialing *364#. You were with me, Opile Kaisa. Thanks for watching. Have a lovely morning.